the women's gymnastics team. What they do as a group has often reflected how the country feels about itself. "270 miles away is the capital of Romania, Bucharest. As it is in any big city, it's easy to get lost in the shuffle here and be anonymous. Kind of like being a male gymnast in Romania. The team is trying to change that. They train here. It's not as lavish as the women's gym, but the conditions, like the men's program, is not as bad as it once was. Still, you wouldn't blame anyone if they called this an inferiority complex. However, just last April, the men's team won their second straight European championship. 2 straight is momentum that could come at the right time. In an Olympic year, where a medal would remove their anonymity at home, and they would love that for a change. And it'll all be played out today in an all-important day 1 of the gymnastics competition in these games. To make the team finals, you must finish top 8 when today is complete. Later on, the United States will be with Russia in Group 2, China and Japan in Group 3. Romania is expected to dominate here in Group 1. Can they qualify gymnasts to the event finals? Top 8 go to each of the 6 apparatus. And then there is the all-around. You must finish top 24 to make it there and represent your country. First up, for Romania, from Transylvania and Timisoara, is Don Potra in a team that could be very, very deep, depending on how things play out.
He actually won a European all-around. Was the first time a Romanian has ever won that last year at the European Championships.
What makes the Romanian men so great on this apparatus are their clean, smooth lines, great body positions. Not the most extension that you could see. And oh boy, that was a big struggle right there. Able to hang on, but opens the door.
Every touch of the pommel horse is a big deal when you hit it as hard as he just did. That's what you're talking about.
Exactly. And that handstand, the definition of it is basically a swing to a handstand. He almost landed in straddle L at the end here and has to use all those muscles that he's got just to press his body back up to the handstand. Legs hit, as you said right there. And when your momentum stops and you go backwards, it's a deduction.
Tim, will it be hard, do you think, for Romania to make the top 8?
No, they're going to do it easy.
We'll get his score in a moment. And now Marian Dragulescu will be introduced to mount the pommel horse.
And he says that on pommel horse he gets most nervous by far.
And he's obviously known for his power events, which would be vaulting and floor exercise. But he said his role for this team at these Olympic Games is to be the best on all 6 apparatus.
Well, he'll eventually get rid of those slippers, I would think. 9.3, the score for Potra.
And, you know, immediately prior to this, they have what's called the warm-up for each apparatus. And they call it different things. They call it a 30-second warm-up. And technically, it's called a one-touch warm-up. He was struggling in the one-touch warm-up and asked his friend Urzika if he could take another turn, and Urzika let him jump up there and get a second try. He was not doing well on the one pommel element just a few moments ago. This is the easy stuff for him. It gets a little bit more complicated right here when he has to stay on this one pommel. A little bit of leg separation, but better than he did in the warm-ups. Another one pommel sequence, and wow, he just barely got his hand on the pommel. He is a fighter.
That one was for the team.
That is about as well as he can do that, and that is a huge sigh of relief for him and for this entire Romanian team.
And now for something that could be a highlight just with the introduction of his name. Vlasios Maros from right here in Athens, Greece. I'd love to know what his sleep patterns were last night. But gymnastics has about as good a pedigree in the ancient tradition of the Olympic Games as you can have. And here now in his home city, he is attempting to qualify himself not in the all-around picture, but on the high bar, and they begin the rhythmic chant of Maros, Maros, Maros. If he can stay top 8 at the conclusion of today on the high bar, he would qualify to reach the event finals in high bar. So this is his Olympics. This could be it. His Olympics could be 90 seconds or nothing.
And I have been waiting for this for the past couple of months. He is one of the most dynamic, exciting athletes to compete at these games. He will fly on this event. He says that he is a natural, born to do high bar. Couldn't agree more. This is going to be spectacular. Major release element, one of the few in the world that has ever performed it. Comes up, he'll generate some speed here. Watch, he'll flip over the bar right here. Whoa. And done perfectly. He's got impeccable form. Beautiful body line. And actually capable of doing a more difficult dismount. A triple twist. Will only do 2 here.
Oh, he fixed the landing. Talk about home high bar advantage.
Could not have done it any better. I tell you though, Al, these judges, they better get it right, because one of the scary things about competing in the first session, in the first rotation, but here's that release skill. Look at this, a double front over the bar, half turn, wow.
And now the wait to see if the judges do get it right.
And meanwhile, Dragulescu scores a 9.325. So what that means with strategy of team competition, Romanians hope to throw out Potra's 9.3.
How about Maris, 9.725?
Well, Al, only 8 gymnasts qualify to the Olympic finals. High bar is a specialty. I don't think that number is going to be enough. That's a shame.
Day 1 continues after this. Romania.
And when this guy stays on, he usually ends up with a gold medal wrapped around his neck. Staying on that one pommel for so long.
Look at the speed.
Oh, come on.
Well, he's Olympic champion, he's world champion, he's European champion.
And he is the reason why every young Romanian gymnast wants to work the pommel horse. They want to be great on this event.
So far, it has been fantastic. And finishes that way as well. Going to get a big, big number.
Maria Suzica of Romania.
And what makes this routine so special is the variety, but take a look at the flared sequence here. Unbelievable, very, very fast.
Maria Suzica gets a 9.812. That is the highest score awarded so far in this opening rotation. We go to the ring. And Yuri Keki of Italy, the king of the rings in '96, did not go to the Olympics in 2000. And here at his age, you've got to figure this is hang on for one last great moment on the Olympic rings.
Really was kind of surprised that he decided to make the comeback. He was the quintessential strong all-around guy. He became so well known in the sport of gymnastics. Was really the first all-arounder that was ridiculously strong.
He has 5